Hi everybody, welcome back. If you don't know, my name is Cooper, and today we're going to be talking about the design mistakes that I've made in my own personal apartment, and today I'm going to be breaking down the things that I got wrong, why they matter, and how you can avoid them. It doesn't matter whether you're moving into your first apartment or just trying to redecorate your space. I think this will maybe help provide some insight on some of the mistakes that are really easy to make. I also thought that this was a great time to make the video because this is actually the last week that I'm going to be living in my apartment. I know it's really sad because this place has really put me on the map, but it's time for a change. It's time for me to move somewhere that suits me a little bit more and makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so let's get into it. The first mistake that you can make when designing your place is rushing the process. And I know you guys might be saying, "Oh, Cooper, I've heard you say that a million times." You're right, I have, but also I would like to address the elephant in the room, and that is there are a couple different things in my apartment that I might have rushed into a little bit just because of necessity, and I think this happens for a lot of people, but I'm not a millionaire. I don't have infinite money, and so I was working on a tight budget, and some of the things that I ended up getting, I maybe could have waited and saved up for, and instead of getting the lower quality and lower priced item. I think a lot of the times after you move into your first place, it can be really tempting to have things feel instantly decorated and instantly together right after you move in, but the truth is that designing the place that you live is a constant process, and I can tell you as a decorator that it never ends. The design process never ends, not till the day you move out into a new place, and then the design process for that place begins. Another thing that I think plays into this a lot is the fear of having empty space and the fear of the outside perspective. I think a lot of people want their home to feel together and want their home to feel cozy and finished when they have their loved ones over and want them to see the space at the best. And so I think that can contribute a little bit to rushing the process, but I'm here to say, you guys, slow down, take a breath, just unpack your basic things and buy things as you go. You know, in regards to that, I think a lot of these rush spaces tend to look unfinished or just a little bit sloppy because there's a lack of detail and a lack of personality in the purchases just because they're not made very thoughtfully, which can kind of make things feel a little bit flat or uninteresting to you and your guests. So a couple of the things that I've rushed into in my own personal apartment is my dining room and my bedroom. With my dining room, I had no money left. I think I had like about an $150 budget. I was on Facebook Marketplace, you know, I found a couple things. I like the chairs and the dining table that I have. Are they my favorite? No. You know, I'm keeping them for now. I think I'm gonna end up swapping them out for a banquette or something along the lines of that in my new place, but you know, they're not exactly my favorite, and I definitely felt pushed to purchase a dining table just for the sake of practicality. I wish I just told myself it was okay to eat at my desk for a couple more months. I'm a human being. I succumbed to my own emotions and I just flaked and bought the dining furniture. So the next mistake that I'm gonna talk about that I made when designing my space, and hopefully you won't make when designing yours, is prioritizing large furniture pieces that you see a lot over organizational options. If you don't understand what I mean by this, basically, rather than prioritizing buying furniture that you see out in public spaces like a living room or dining room, I think a lot of people tend to forget that it's also really important to buy furniture for your closets and your organizational spaces because they're not as seen in the everyday, if that makes sense, but they do really make a big difference when it comes to the functionality of your space. An example of this is in my apartment. I do actually have a lot of closet space to work with, but my closets just have one long bar across them that allows you to hang clothes, but otherwise there isn't really anything. It's just kind of a small little blank space. Rather than buying shelving for that space or storage for that space, I focused on buying, you know, living room furniture and bedroom furniture and all of that. I guess in my mind because I would use it more often, but the reality of the situation is that organizational furniture is really important to having a nice and clutter-free space. My closets, after a while, started to stack up with different objects that I just had, whether that's pieces of decor or whether that's, you know, suitcases or luggage, you know what I mean? It is really important to focus on those spaces in the earlier stages as well, just so you have that functionality aspect as well as that aesthetic aspect for your more public spaces. That way way, as you grow in your space, you have more room to grow into. I think when we move in somewhere and everything is instantly filled up, that's not usually a great sign, because after that, what do we have to grow into? If we're going to be living in this space for a year plus, where's the space for the stuff that we are going to culminate over that time? You don't want to open your closet door and have a bunch of stuff fall out on you. It's just not a good look. Mistake 3. Okay, so this is one that I definitely made 100%, I can tell you that. And that is settling on a place out of stress. I haven't really talked about this on my channel, but in my last apartment, I ended up having a falling out with the person I was living with, and I had to move out very quickly, like same day, all of that. A very stressful situation, as you could imagine. I ended up having about a week to find a new place. That is not a lot of time, and so I couldn't be super picky because obviously I was working with a limited budget, and I also had this condition of a week's time frame of moving in somewhere. And so I kind of just went with the first place I could find and stuck with it. This did not turn out great for me because I ended up paying way more than I needed to in a lot of different things, whether that be parking or bills. And I also sacrificed my love for character when it comes to architecture. In my previous apartment, it was also a modern new building, but I really wanted to live somewhere that had a lot of character and maybe was a little bit older and in a more calming environment. But because I was in such a rush to get into a new place, I kind of sacrificed all of that and ended up in a busy area in a new build, very sterile, very modern apartment that, yes, is absolutely beautiful, but it's not exactly aligned with my personal architectural styles and personal needs. I'm somebody who really loves to be outdoors and walk around, and I don't exactly live in the most walkable area. Take your time when looking for a place. Obviously, if you have the option to, it is always best, and make sure you consider your needs and what you really want in your heart. Luckily, I'm excited to say that I'm moving into a new place that has a lot of outdoor space and is really homey and cozy, and so I'm really excited to get in there and kind of settle down a little bit. The next mistake that I made when designing my place is going to be styling things too quickly. I think I had a little bit of pressure because of YouTube. I felt that I really needed to have things together in a way that was extremely presentable immediately, and this kind of goes with the buying furniture too quickly, but I was trying to style things in my apartment that didn't work because they were fragments from my old apartment and stuff that I had just culminated throughout the years. That was not necessarily still pieces that I love. Styling and designing is such a long and tedious process, and it should be treated with a lot of care and intention. Okay, so this next mistake is something that I might get a little bit of hate for in the Pinterest community, but the next mistake that you can make is not having a functional drop zone in your house. And what I mean by drop zone here is basically a spot in your entryway or a spot next to your door where you can put your keys down when you come in and pick them up when you go to leave, where you keep your wallet, your sunglasses, you know, the essentials that you need when you get out of the house. In my apartment, I think I waited a little bit long to get one, and I kind of just kept my keys in a bowl on the floor for a minute. I made the best with what I had at the time, but you know, now I'm in a place where I can have a nice functional drop zone. Designing around your daily habits is something that is really important to take into account when approaching the design for your place, just because you won't enjoy living there if it's not functional for you on a daily basis. I mean, who's gonna enjoy walking into their apartment, walking into the bathroom, putting their keys on their sink, and then going to wash their face in the kitchen? Nobody. So I don't think that was a very great example, but you know what, let's roll with it. You get what I'm saying. It's not enjoyable, it's not functional, and you're just gonna get tired of it, and it's gonna drive you insane. Make sure you understand what's required for you to function normally and happily on a daily basis. Before you start approaching the design, I think a lot of people tend to do design first and then function second, but it's always function first and then design second, so then that way you have a space that, you know, you can use and it won't drive you crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna run through a couple of the mini mistakes that people make when it comes to designing their space. These aren't ones that I have necessarily made in my apartment, but they are really important to take into account, so I just wanted to kind of mention them and talk about them just a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on these, but I think you'll get the gist from what I'm saying. The first one is going to be buying trendy decor that doesn't last. So number one, it's not great quality, and number two, it's hyper trendy, so you're gonna get tired of it in 2 months. So think wavy mirrors, wavy lamps, pastel, squiggle, whatever. You know, just don't do it. I always say look for vintage items that are a little bit better quality, and they can still be funky and fun, but also stand the test of time. So I would say go that route instead if you start getting tempted by these trendy items. The next thing is going to be choosing furniture that doesn't match the scale of your ceilings. Actually, one of the number one most important things that I actually haven't talked about much on my channel. So you need to make sure that if you have low ceilings, you do some kind of low-lying furniture in the space to accentuate it, as well as including a lot of vertical lines to bring the ceiling up as well. Because if you have tall furniture, curtains that don't go down to the floor, and low ceilings, your room is going to feel so flat and so boring, and it's just going to feel really horrible and claustrophobic in there. So, you know, make sure you take into account how high are my ceilings, what am I working with here, and how can I prepare best for that. Then my last point that I wanted to touch on is hanging art too high. I think a lot of people get confused on where they should be hanging their artwork, but you want to make sure you do about 6 inches to a foot off of whatever furniture piece or architectural component is under it. I would say just hanging your art too high really makes everything feel off and can really ruin the entire room. So make sure you take this rule to heart. You don't have to go and measure it perfectly, but just put your hand on the wall. If it's a couple inches above where your middle finger ends, then you're good. Just don't be putting things 2 inches down from the top of the ceiling, because yikes. Looking back, I'm not too hard on myself about all of these mistakes that I've made in my own apartment. It's been a learning experience, as everything is, and I've just realized that I need to be a little bit less hard on myself about having everything together perfectly when it comes to the way that my space looks. If you're decorating a new space or about to move out like me, hopefully this video gives you a little bit of insight, and let me know in the comments what mistakes you guys have made and what you do differently next time. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Cooper Osinski Interiors, or you can visit my website cooperosinski.com, where you can find a little bit more about me and my business. I'd love to book a consultation with you and hopefully sign you as a client. So if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to work with you, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye!